Welcome to my channel. Today I want to ask you something very simple. Have you ever spoken English so fast that nobody understood you, not even yourself? Or maybe you listened to someone speaking quickly, and it felt like a storm of words hitting you, and you only caught one or two. I know that feeling very well, and I also know that many learners believe fast English means good English. But let me tell you something important. That is not true. Slow talking in English is not a weakness. It is actually your biggest strength. When you speak slowly, every word has space. Your brain has more time to think. Your mouth has more time to pronounce, and the listener has more time to understand. Imagine you're building a house. If you build too fast, the walls may fall down. But if you build slowly, carefully, the house becomes strong and beautiful. The same is true with English. Slow speaking. In this video, I'm going to show you why speaking slowly is the secret key to learning English faster, sounding more confident, and connecting with people better. Stay with me, because what you are about to discover may completely change the way you practice English. Subscribe to my another channel, link in the description, Chapter 1. The Power of Slow Talking. Many English learners believe that fast English means good English. Maybe you also feel this way. You might think that if you speak quickly, people will believe you're fluent. You might even try to copy the fast rhythm of movies, TV shows, or YouTube videos. But here is the truth. Fast English does not always mean good English. In fact, speaking too fast usually creates more problems than solutions. You make more mistakes, you forget words, and your listeners get confused. The power is not in speed. The power is in clarity. Let me share a simple observation. Native speakers of English do not always speak fast. They actually pause a lot. They stop in the middle of sentences. They repeat words when they're searching for the right idea. They sometimes use silence to think. Imagine you are listening to two friends having a conversation in English. One says, "Well, yeah, I guess that's true, but maybe we can try again tomorrow." This is not fast. It is natural, with pauses, with hesitation, with moments of thinking. Real English is not a race. It is a rhythm. And in that rhythm, slow moments are very important. Now imagine a learner who tries to speak English very fast. Their heart is beating quickly. Their mouth is moving quickly, but their words are not clear. They want to say, "I enjoy learning English because it helps me talk to people from other countries." But instead it comes out messy, with missing words and broken grammar. People look confused, and the learner feels nervous. This happens to many of us when we rush. But let's change the picture. The same learner takes a deep breath and tries again. This time speaking slowly. "I enjoy learning English because it helps you talk to people from other countries." Suddenly, everyone understands. The words are simple, but they are clear. The learner feels in control. The power of slow talking changes everything. Here is the surprising truth, and this might shock you. Even native speakers admire learners who speak slowly and clearly. Many learners are afraid that speaking slowly will make them look weak or less fluent. But the opposite is true. When you speak slowly, people see confidence. They see someone who is not afraid to take their time. They see someone who wants to be understood. And that is exactly what communication is about. Think about famous speakers, leaders, and teachers. They do not rush. They speak with calm, steady voices. Their slow talking makes every word stronger. You could do the same in English. Is that slow speaking gives respect to the listener. Imagine you're listening to someone who speaks too fast in your own language. You might feel lost or tired, but when someone speaks slowly and clearly, you feel comfortable. You feel respected because they want you to understand. Yeah? The same is true when you speak English. Slow talking shows kindness. It shows that you care about the person listening to you. And because of this, people like talking to you more. Okay? I remember meeting a student who believed that fast talking was the only way to sound fluent. He always spoke like a train rushing down the track, words flying one after another. Kent. But when he tried to tell a story, he kept forgetting vocabulary, mixing up grammar, and losing his audience. One day, I told him to try something different. I said, "Forget speed. Just take a breath. Speak slowly, word by word." At first, he was scared. He thought he would sound silly, but he tried. And the difference was amazing. For the first time, people around him nodded and smiled. They understood his story. They connected with him. He told me later, "I feel like I spoke real English today for the first time." That is the power of slow talking. So the next time you practice English, I want you to remember this. Gaffin? Fast does not mean fluent. Slow does not mean weak. Slow means clear. Slow means confident. Slow means strong, cleaned. Every time you slow down your speech, you are not only helping your listener, you are also helping yourself. You are training your brain, your mouth, and your confidence to grow together. Kang. Speaking slowly is the first step to real confidence in English. If you can master this skill, you will feel less nervous, you will make fewer mistakes, and once people enjoy listening to you, you will enjoy speaking even more. This is how slow talking becomes your secret tool, not just for learning English, but for connecting with people in a powerful way. Yay. Chapter 2. How slow talking helps the brain. Have you ever wondered what really happens inside your brain when you speak English? Every time you try to say something, your brain is doing many things at the same time. It is looking for the right words, putting them in the right order, checking grammar, and telling your mouth how to pronounce each sound. That is a lot of work. And when you try to do all of this too fast, your brain feels pressure. It gets confused. It makes mistakes. But when you slow down, something amazing happens. Okay? Your brain has time to work step by step, and suddenly English feels easier. Think about a simple sentence. I like apples. If you say it very quickly, you may not even notice the words. It might come out unclear, like illic apples. But if you say it slowly, I like apples, your brain has a moment to choose each word carefully. First, it chooses I. Then it finds like, and finally, it picks apples. That small space between words is like fresh air for your brain. It gives you time to think, to be correct, and to feel confident. This is why slow talking is so powerful. It is not just about sounding clear for other people. It is also about helping your own brain. When you rush, your brain panics. It feels like running too fast without looking at the road. You trip, you fall, you get lost. But when you slow down, your brain feels calm. It has space to make the right choices. And step by step, you build a sentence that works. Let's use a comparison. Imagine you're driving car. If you drive too fast on a crowded street, you might crash. You cannot see the signs. You cannot react in time, and you feel stressed. That is what happens when you speak English too quickly. Your brain is like a driver who cannot control the car. Okay? But if you drive slowly, the road feels safe. You can see the traffic lights. You can stop when you need to, and you can enjoy the journey. That is slow talking in English. It makes your brain feel like the driver of a safe, smooth car. Now, here is a surprising truth, and it is very important to understand. Many learners think that slowing down makes them look weak, but in reality, it makes them look smart and controlled. Imagine two learners. One speaks very fast but makes many mistakes. The listener struggles to understand. The other learner speaks slowly, carefully, and clearly. The listener understands everything. Which learner looks smarter? Of course, the one who speaks slowly. People respect clarity, they respect control, and slowing down gives you both. Okay? I remember a student who always rushed when speaking English. She wanted to impress her classmates by talking fast, but every time she spoke, her sentences were broken, and people could not follow her ideas. One day, I asked her to slow down. At first, she laughed and said, "But that will make me sound bad." I told her to try once. So she tried. She said her sentence slowly, word by word, and suddenly the class understood her perfectly. Everyone smiled, and she smiled too. That was the moment she realized that speaking slowly is not a weakness, or strength. Another benefit of slow talking is that it helps your brain start thinking in English naturally. When you rush, your brain often goes back to your native language. It tries to translate quickly, and this creates mistakes. But when you slow down, you give your brain time to stay in English. You think about the sentence in English, not in your first language. Over time, this habit grows stronger, and you stop translating. You begin to think directly in English, and that is one of the biggest goals for any learner. So here is the key message. Slow speech is like training for your brain. Every time you speak slowly, you're teaching your brain stay calm, to find words, and to use grammar naturally. You're training your brain to think in English without panic, and the more you practice this, the more confident and fluent you will become. Chapter 3. Pronunciation and Clarity. When most learners think about pronunciation, they think it is only about making perfect sounds. They believe they must sound exactly like a native speaker to be understood. But the truth is, pronunciation is not only about sounds. It is also about speed. The faster you talk, the harder it becomes to pronounce words clearly. The slower you talk, the more chance your mouth has to move correctly, and the clearer your words become. That is why slow speaking is the secret door to better pronunciation. Let me give you example. Word comfortable. Many learners struggle with this word because when they say it fast, their tongue and lips get confused. Some learners try to say every single letter, like comfortably, which sounds unnatural. Others rush and say something like comfortable, which is too unclear. But when you slow down, you can break it into small parts. Comfortably. Kang step by step. Your mouth learns the natural movement. With time, when you speak slowly, your pronunciation of difficult words becomes smooth and clear. This is true for almost every hard word in English. Whether it is February, temperature, or vegetable, the moment you slow down, you give your mouth a chance to practice the rhythm. You are not rushing. You are teaching your muscles how to move, and the more you do it slowly, the faster it becomes. But pronunciation is not only about words, it is also about stress, rhythm, and intonation. English has a special music. Some words are stressed more, some are lighter, and the voice goes up and down in natural patterns. If you speak too fast, you miss this music. You flatten everything, and people find it hard to understand you. But when you slow down, the music of English becomes clear. You naturally put stress on the right words. Whilst you give space for rhythm, and your intonation sounds friendly and real. Let's imagine a simple situation. Hey, you're talking to a friend in English. You say something quickly, but your friend looks confused. They did not understand the word. You repeat again, still fast, and they still don't get it. Finally, you take a deep breath, slow down, and say it clearly, step by step. Suddenly their face changes. They smile and say, "Oh, now I understand." That moment feels magical. You realize that the only difference was speed. By slowing down, you turn confusion into connection. And that connection is the true power of language. Here is another secret. Many learners think that recording themselves is only for advanced students, but actually, it is the best tool for beginners too. Try this. Take your phone, record yourself saying a few sentences slowly. For example, my name is Anna. I live in Brazil. I like to read books. Say it slowly with clear pronunciation. Then, play back and listen. You will hear your own voice more carefully than when you are speaking. You will notice the sounds, the rhythm, the pauses, and if something is not clear, you can practice again. This is one of the fastest ways to improve pronunciation, and the secret is to always start slow. Slowing down also removes fear. Many learners feel shy when speaking English. They worry that their accent is too strong or their words are not perfect. But when you slow down, you feel in control. You are not chasing the words. They're coming to you at the right time. This control makes you sound calmer and more confident. And confidence makes your pronunciation better because your voice is strong and clear. So the key message here is simple. Bind. If you want to improve pronunciation and clarity, don't focus only on repeating fast native speaker sentences. Instead, focus on slowing down. Break words into smaller parts. Listen to the music of English. Record yourself and compare. Every small, slow step is training your mouth, your voice, and your ear to work together. In the end, slow speaking is not just about clear pronunciation. It is about connection. It is about making people understand you, about building trust, and about feeling proud of your words. Kang? When your friend finally understands what you said, when your teacher nods because your sentence was clear, when you hear your own recording and smile because it sounds good, that is the real success in learning English. And it all begins with slowing down. Chapter 4. Confidence and Communication. When you think of confidence in English, what picture comes to your mind? Maybe you imagine someone speaking fast, with no mistakes and using difficult words. But the truth is different. Real confidence does not come from speed or big vocabulary. Real confidence comes from control, and the easiest way to show control is to slow down. When you speak slowly, even with simple English, people see you as calm, strong, and confident. Think about great leaders and famous public speakers. Have you noticed that they almost never rush their words? They pause. They let their sentences breathe. They give time for their listeners to understand. Martin Luther King, Barack Obama, or even great teachers in your own life. When they speak, they do it slowly and clearly. Why? Because slow speech is power. It makes people listen. It makes people respect what you're saying, and you can use this same power in English, no matter your level. Imagine this. You are in class, and the teacher asks you a question in English. Your first reaction is to answer quickly because you don't want people to think you are slow. So you rush your words, but in the middle of your sentence, you get stuck. You forget the right word. You feel nervous. Everyone looks at you, and your confidence goes down. Now imagine the same situation, but this time you speak slowly. You take a breath. You say, I think the answer is number 2. Your English is simple, but it is clear. The teacher smiles and says, Good job. I understand you. At that moment, you feel proud. You feel confident. And all you did was slow down. Here is the surprising truth. Many learners lose confidence not because their English is bad, but because they rush. When you rush, your brain cannot keep up. Your mouth makes mistakes, and your listener gets confused. This makes you feel embarrassed, and your confidence drops. But the instant you slow down, everything changes. Your words are clear. Your brain feels calm. The listener understands you. Suddenly, you feel in control again. This small change, just slowing down, can fix your confidence problem immediately. Let's look at a real-life example. Imagine 2 students giving a short speech. The first student speaks fast. Minisilla want to talk about football, a thing football great, because the words all stick together. The teacher and classmates try hard to understand, but they miss half the message. The second student says, My name is Ollie. I want to talk about football. I think football is a great sport because the English is simple, but the room is silent. Everyone is listening. Everyone understands. Who looks more confident? Of course, the second student, and the only difference is speed. This is why slowing down is like a magic trick. It makes you look confident even if your English is very basic. So, confidence is not about showing how many words you know. It is about making people believe in your message. And when people understand you, they believe in you. Another secret is that slowing down also helps with communication. Communication is not only about speaking, it is about connection. If people cannot follow your words, the connection breaks. But when you speak slowly, you create space for the listener. They have time to hear, to think, and to respond. This makes conversations smooth and natural. And smooth conversations make you feel more confident too. So remember this key message. Slow equals confident. Fast equals nervous. The faster you speak, the more it feels like you are running away from your own words. But when you slow down, you look like you're standing tall. You own your words. You show control. And control means is the next time you speak English, don't try to be the fastest speaker in the room. Instead, try to be the clearest. Take your time. Use pauses. Let your words breathe. You will see something amazing. People will listen more carefully, and you will feel stronger inside. That is the true gift of slow talking. Chapter 5. 3. Thinking in English. One of the biggest dreams for every English learner is to think directly in English. You don't want to translate every word from your native language. You don't want to pause and wonder, How do I say this in English? You want the words to come naturally, like water flowing in a river. But how do you get there? Many learners believe that to think in English, they must speak fast. They imagine that speed will push them into fluency. Mike, but the truth is the opposite. Thinking in English begins not with speed, but with slowing down. Here's why. When you speak too quickly, your brain feels pressure. It doesn't have enough time to find the right words in English. So, it takes a shortcut. It goes back to your native language. It starts translating. And translation is slow, confusing, and full of mistakes. That's why fast talking often makes you panic. But when you speak slowly, your brain has room to breathe. It has time to choose the English words step by step. This space is where real thinking in English begins. Let's take an example. Imagine you want to say the sentence, "What do you think about this?" If you try to say it very fast, your brain may panic. It might first build the sentence in your own language, then try to translate quickly into English. The result feels stressful and messy. But if you slow down, everything changes. You take a breath. You say, "What do you think about this?" Suddenly, the sentence feels natural. You didn't need to translate, you just thought in English. That calm pace gave your brain time to stay in English, instead of running away to your native language. This is why slow speech is so powerful. It trains your brain little by little to stop translating. Okay. Every time you speak slowly, you're teaching your brain to search for English words first. You are creating a new habit, and habits are stronger than effort. At first, it may feel strange. You may think, "I am too slow. People will laugh." But remember, slow is not weakness. Slow is training. Slow is progress. And the more you practice, the more natural it becomes. Ray. I remember a student who always translated before speaking. She would listen in English, then think in her own language, then try to build the sentence again in English. Hang. By the time she spoke, the moment had already passed. She felt shy and frustrated. One day, I asked her to try something new, slow down and speak with pauses. At first, she felt embarrassed. But then something surprising happened. When she spoke slowly, she did not need to translate so much. She began to think directly in English words. Her brain had enough time to stay in English. That was the moment she realized the secret. Slow speech is the bridge between translation and natural thinking. Here comes the spike. The surprising fact most learners don't know. Thinking in English doesn't begin with speed. It begins with pauses. It begins with silence. It begins with giving your brain enough time to choose the right words naturally. Fast speech may look fluent, but it often hides panic. Slow speech looks calm, and it builds real fluency from the inside out. Think of it like planting a tree. If you rush and throw the seed into the ground without care, nothing will grow. But if you take your time, dig slowly, plant carefully, water regularly, the tree will grow strong and tall. Slow talking is the careful planting of your English brain. Each word you say slowly is like giving water to the seed of natural thinking. Over time, your English will stand tall, strong, and natural. So the key message is simple. Slow speech is not just about pronunciation or clarity. It is the path to thinking in English. It is the bridge between the world of translation and the world of natural language. Okay? Every pause you make is a gift to your brain. Every slow sentence you speak is a step away from translation and a step closer to real fluency. Next time you practice English, remember this: don't rush to sound fast. Slow down to sound natural, because fluency is not about speed. It's about thinking in English with confidence. And the first step to thinking in English is slowing down. Chapter 6: Daily Practice of Slow Talking. Now that we know the power of slow talking, let's make it practical, because knowing is not enough. You have to practice. And the good news is that slow talking is very easy to practice every single day. You don't need hours, and you don't need complicated tools. You just need a few minutes, your voice, and a little patience. Let me show you how. The first simple way is to read sentences slowly out loud. Take a book, an article, or even a short message on your phone. Read it one word at a time, slowly and clearly. For example, take the sentence, "I am learning English." Don't rush. Say it like this: I'm learning English. Each word has space. Each sound is clear. As you do this, your brain and mouth work together. You are training your pronunciation, your rhythm, and your confidence. Over time, you can slowly increase your speed, but the foundation of clarity will stay strong. Okay, the second method is shadowing, but with a twist. Normally, shadowing means listening to a video and copying the speaker at the same time. But here I want you to do something different. Copy the speaker, but speak slower than them. Imagine you're listening to a video where the speaker says, "Welcome to my channel." You say, "Welcome to my channel." Slower, calmer, clearer. This method is powerful because it keeps you focused on pronunciation, not speed. You're building control. And later, when you want to speak faster, you will sound natural because you first learned slowly. The third way is to practice short pauses between words. Many learners try to speak without any pause, thinking that pauses are bad. But pauses are your friends. Pauses give your brain time. Pauses give your listener clarity. For example, say this slowly with pauses. Today, I want to share my story. Doesn't it sound calm and clear? You don't have to rush. Even great speakers, teachers, and leaders use pauses. When you practice this daily, you will notice that your English feels smoother, more natural, and more confident. Let me share a little story. A learner I worked with was always rushing. He wanted to speak fast because he thought it would impress people, but often nobody understood him. He felt frustrated. Then I gave him a challenge. For 1 week, he must practice speaking slowly every day for just 5 minutes. He did it. He read slowly out loud. He shadowed videos, but in a slow voice. He practiced pauses. After 1 week, something amazing happened. He told me, "People understand me better now. I don't feel nervous. I feel calm when I speak." His confidence grew, not because he learned more words, but because he practiced speaking slowly. And here comes the spike. The secret most learners don't realize. Even 5 minutes a day of slow practice can completely change your English journey. Yes, just 5 minutes. If you give yourself a few minutes each day to speak slowly, your pronunciation improves, your grammar feels easier, and your confidence grows. Small steps create big results. It's like exercising. You don't need to run a marathon every day. A few minutes of daily training makes your body stronger. The same is true for English. A few minutes of daily slow talking makes your English habit stronger. Think about it. Every time you say a sentence slowly, you're building a habit. Every pause you make is training your brain to think in English. Every clear word you say is a step toward confidence. Over time, these habits grow. They become part of you, and one day you will notice that you're no longer translating, no longer rushing, no longer panicking. You're speaking calmly, clearly, and naturally. So, the key message of this chapter is simple. Slow practice builds strong English habits. Don't wait for the perfect time. Don't say, I will practice when I have 1 hour free. Start today. Start with 5 minutes. Read slowly. Shadow slowly. Pause slowly. Do it every day, and you will see your English change. Slow talking is not just a skill, it's a habit. And the more you practice it, the more natural it becomes. So, now you know the hidden secret. Speaking slowly is not a weakness. It is your greatest strength. Blends. When you slow down, your English becomes clear, your mind feels calm, and your confidence grows. Slow talking is not just about language. It is about connection. People understand you, listen to you, and respect you more. I want you to try something very simple today. Say one full sentence slowly with pauses and feel the difference. Nick, notice how powerful it feels to be understood. If this video helped you, please give it a like, subscribe to my channel, and share your thoughts in a comment below. Cam, tell me, will you begin practicing slow English talking from today? Your answer matters, and I will be reading every comment. Thank you for learning with me, and I'll see you in the next video with another lesson to make your English journey easier and more exciting.